Hey guys, what's up? Bob here. So, today we're going to be looking at WWE Money in the Bank 2016. Can't believe it's 2016. Ugh. Anyways, we are going to be making our predictions, and I'll be giving you my thoughts on each match. And then I've got a couple of thoughts afterwards that I'll just talk about. But yeah, let's just get into it. Okay, so first off, we got a couple of pre-show matches. First off, we got Sheamus versus Apollo Crews. Crews needs to win this. Sheamus needs to lose this. Make Sheamus go away. Make Crews be a thing. Be a contender for things. That's really all I have to say about it. Like, nobody takes Sheamus as a credible threat anymore, especially after the whole League of Nations thing, where it was like, we're gonna get 4 different guys together and have us all lose to Reigns. Yeah, Crews needs to win. They do not need to have him lose. Next up, somebody else who should never have lost, Corbin versus Ziggler. Baron Corbin needs to destroy Ziggler in the most non-competitive match ever. He needs to have Ziggler run right at him right at the beginning, hit him with the end of days, let Ziggler sort of try to stagger to his feet, hit him with the end of days again, and just pin him. I think that's how the match should go. I think that's how every match those guys ever had should go. I do not think this should be a competitive match at all. Corbin needs to just destroy somebody and then go on and destroy everybody else forever. The dude could be a legitimate, top tier heel. He needs to win everything. Okay, next up we've got Charlotte and Dana Brooke versus Natalya and Becky Lynch. Why is this match happening? And also, WWE always makes their champions lose in random matches. So I think Natalya and Becky Lynch will win, and they'll be like, now we need to have a triple threat for the title. I don't know why, but I feel like Charlotte's just going to lose. I don't know. Well, actually, Dana's going to be the one getting pinned. But Charlotte's going to be the loser of a match. Because, any sort of non-title match, champions always lose. For some reason. Next up, and this is a match I'm very, very angry that's happening, and I'll explain why. We've got Titus O'Neil versus Rusev. Rusev needs to destroy this man. Machka. Rusev Machka. He needs to freaking crush him. Why is this match happening? I'm mad about this. I'm genuinely really, really upset that this match is even happening. Here's why. Okay, I know a lot of people jumped to Titus's defense after he got suspended for basically nothing, but it was kind of stupid that he did it in the first place. Grabbing Vince during Daniel Bryan's retirement. What? Why'd he do that? And then he got suspended, and Vince was going to fire him. Okay, look, you shouldn't fire the guy, but he should not be in a feud for any sort of title. He has not had a match since he came back. Why is he being given a title opportunity? All he's done, he's run up to Rusev after Rusev had a match. Keep in mind, Rusev finished defending, I don't know whether it was a title match or not, but he had a match and he won clean, right? He just crushed the guy. I think it was Kalisto. No, it was either Kalisto or Sin Cara, one of them guys. And he won. And he's like, I'm so great. And then Titus O'Neil just comes down to the ring and says, hey, how about we fight right now? What? Who just runs up to somebody after they've had a match and challenges them for a match? For their title? And then he acts like Rusev is a coward for not taking it. Rusev just had a match. Leave him alone. And so then the next week comes out, hey, Rusev. Again, after Rusev had just had a match. And he goes, hey, Rusev, let's fight right now. And punches him. Who the heck are you that you can just run up, challenge somebody for their title after they've already fought, and then just cheap shot them? Why am I expected to cheer for this guy? Because that's the thing. He's supposed to be the good guy. Why would he be the good guy? Oh my god, I'm so mad at this. Why is he supposed to be the good guy? He's cheap shotted his opponent at every opportunity. He didn't just challenge him for a match. You could have done that. You could have maybe had Titus win a number 1 contenders match. And, said, okay, Rusev, I'm going to fight you for that title. And Rusev's like, no, I don't want to fight you. And that would make him seem like a bad guy. All Rusev has done is win matches and then get punched in the face for it. What? That makes me so mad. You don't understand. And then the other thing, and this makes me just as mad, Titus O'Neil has not had a match since he came back. He tried to have a match on, I think it was Raw, this Monday. And Rusev attacked him beforehand. Titus O'Neil, before that, had not even been scheduled for a match in the entire time he had been back. That's a televised match. I mean, not just like, oh, he hasn't had a match at all. He probably has it like house shows and on like Superstars or whatever, but he has not had a televised match, which means he's not won anything, which means he does not deserve a title shot. Before that, he was losing to everybody anyway. He was losing matches constantly. Like, the dude hasn't won a match in months. Why does he get a title shot? I'm so mad about this. Just because he's dad of the year or whatever, and they suspended him and like shouldn't have, he's getting a title shot, and he's probably gonna win. But I think Rusev should win. I'm always wrong with my predictions, but Rusev needs to win this match. He needs to win this one in like 10 seconds. That's another one that should be just a squash match. Rusev needs to destroy Titus and say, Titus, you were a loser before you got suspended. You're a loser now. I'm going to kick you in the head, put you in the accolade, and you're going to submit clean. That's how that match should end. Okay, that's my little rant. Next up, we got the Fatal 4-Way for the tag titles. By the way, I'm going off of the matches that were listed on the WWE.com. So if they add any more that I don't know about, then they might happen. But this is the ones that are confirmed. So Fatal 4-Way. It's the Vaudevillains, the Club, who's Anderson and Gallows, Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy, the Jobbers, and New Day. Duh. New Day probably should win. A bunch of people want Enzo and Cass to win. I think Anderson and Gallows are probably going to win. They're actually being taken as a threat. They've won most of their matches. Yeah, I think they probably deserve to win most. I mean, early, not that they deserve to win most. New Day deserves to win most, but I think Anderson and Gallows are going to win and going to be like these bad guys. And I think they'll use that in some sort of promo where they like decide to turn on AJ Styles for real, because like he's lost every big match he's been in so far and they've won every big match they've been in. So like they're obviously more successful. But anyways, yeah, I think they'll win. Enzo and Cass, like if you followed them in NXT, and I know a lot of people haven't, but if you did, they never won. Like they never won anything in NXT. And then New Day, I mean they've been around for a while. I think, you know, just kind of like change the titles and have them go and feud with other people. I don't know. They can do all sorts of stuff. They're still like a very good trio, but I think them holding onto the titles for as long as they have is, they feel like they've been kind of surpassed by those around them, and they really haven't, but they kind of just feel it. And I don't know why the Vaudevillains are in any. I mean, well, I guess realistically they've won most of their matches and haven't. And the only match they've really lost, it was like a cheat type of thing. I think Xavier Woods kicked the guy in the head from outside and he wasn't in the match. Anyways, they feel like they're the new Los Matadores, where they just kind of get slotted into every random, you know, multi-man or multi-team match, you know, for like no reason. But they feel like the most non-threatening team in the entire thing. Although they might have Cass win. I think that'd be kind of cool if they just had Cass just go on a tear. I always like the dynamic. Like every other team, it feels like both of the guys are presented as equals. But with Enzo and Cass, it always feels like Enzo's there to talk, Cass is there to back it up. And they've really done a good job of exemplifying that since they debuted. Enzo's been there mostly just to, you know, trash talk. And Cass has been the one to actually be like a threat in the ring. So, I don't know. I think that's kind of funny. But yeah, I don't think they're going to win. Anyways, next up, we've got the Money in the Bank ladder match. Jericho, Del Rio, Owens, Ambrose, Cesaro, Zayn, right? Now, they could go one of two ways with this. They could either end the match clean and just have it be a normal match, or they could do like something interesting. I'll talk about the interesting things second, but if they decide to just end it clean, I think Owens should win, and I think he will win. Honestly, Kevin Owens... Okay, so I'm going to look at it like this. Babyfaces, the good guys, generally don't win Money in the Bank. It's better if a bad guy wins it, and then, you know, that way they can cash in on somebody who's, like, weakened and, you know, like, beat them up afterwards. And I think that that's kind of the best way to do Money in the Bank. Now, if you look at the bad guys that are in this match, so, like, that kind of disqualifies, you know, Zayn, Cesaro, and Ambrose. I don't think any of them are going to win because I can't imagine those guys kind of cheap-shotting a weakened opponent and taking the title from them. So I think that it will be, you know, like one of the bad guys. So that is Del Rio, Owens, and Jericho. Jericho doesn't feel like enough of a threat to actually win anything anymore. I don't think they'd put their world title on him. Del Rio honestly doesn't feel like a threat either. He's always just kind of been like the end one in everything. He was like the second in command in the League of Nations, and like, like just every feud he's been in, it felt like underwhelming. I don't think that they have enough confidence in this guy to put the belt on him. And then that leaves Owens. And honestly, Owens coming in to just destroy a weakened opponent, I feel like that perfectly exemplifies his character. He doesn't care about what, like his matches themselves. He cares about getting the title because he's a prize fighter, and if he gets that prize, he'll have more money for his family and all that good stuff, all that good trash talk. Like, it's not about, being a good sport. It's about results in big matches, and the Money in the Bank briefcase really allows him to do that. Plus, the dude has actually won some matches, like some good matches. I feel like he's the only one who, at any point, before or after the Champions match, he could just come in and say, I'm cashing in, I'm going to kick your butt. I feel like Owens is the only one of those 6 that could really pull that off. I just like him. Honestly, I feel like he's just the best one of the bad guys, definitely. And even of the good guys, honestly. Like, Zayn's really cool. And Amber's, a lot of people like him. And Cesaro, everybody likes him, but they're never going to treat him seriously. But yeah, Owens is the only one who I view as being like enough of a genuine threat to anybody that he could just come in and, beat somebody up and take the title. Okay, so next up we've got AJ Styles versus John Cena. And I think Cena will win, but he might not. I mean, that's really... Anymore, Cena loses one match and wins like 3. That's pretty much how all his feuds go. And you never really know when the one he's going to lose will be. Like when he fought Owens beat him the first time and Cena won the next 2. When he fought Rusev beat him the first time. And so actually, going by that logic, I guess AJ might win, but I feel like Cena will just win. And it's kind of unfortunate, but here's the thing. If you're AJ Styles and you beat John Cena, who do you fight next? Like, you can't go back and fight Roman Reigns again. You just lost to him twice. Who do you fight after that? Who doesn't seem like a step down? Like, if you manage to beat John Cena, you can maybe challenge for the Intercontinental Championship? Maybe? Who is the Intercontinental Champion? The Miz? Does he even have a match? I guess he might. I don't know. I didn't see it listed. Does he have a match? I feel like he'll win whatever he has, but yeah, maybe AJ Styles can fight him afterwards and just take the Intercontinental Championship, but I don't see him... No, wait, hold up. Is he the champ? I don't know. Who's the Intercontinental champ? I genuinely don't know. Whatever. Anyway, yeah, I feel like AJ will just lose, because, like, who do you have him fight afterwards? I can't think of anybody to have, other than, like, maybe Finn Balor if he debuts, but I feel like if Finn Balor and him fight, then, like, I feel like AJ losing this match would actually set up that feud, like, oh, you're too weak to lead the club, I should be the leader of the club, that sort of thing. Whereas, like, if AJ wins and then Balor just tries to, like, take it over, I don't know. I just feel like Cena will just win this one. Or if he doesn't, he'll come back and win the next 2. So, yeah, that's all there is to it. Last match, and this is the one that, well, another one that I really am a little bit passionate about. Not so much, because it involves Reigns. It's Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns for the title. Okay, Seth, I want him to win so bad, but Reigns is going to win. And here's why. So Seth is genuinely better all around. He's better talker, better in the ring. He's more interesting. He genuinely feels like they're willing to, like, do things with him as a person. Whereas Roman Reigns is like a brick with a frowny face drawn on it. And, like, yeah, you can make a house out of bricks, but they're not that stimulating to look at on TV. So, I don't like him. I'm going to be honest. He's boring. Yeah, he does explosive moves occasionally, but all of his storylines are boring, and he just spouts off the same catchphrases. Like, Seth Rollins, you could give him a microphone and say, like, okay, go fill 15 minutes. Roman Reigns, it's like, okay, give everyone around him a microphone, make them all look silly, and have him look strong. Like, that's really all there is to it. I think people still appreciate Seth enough that, like, I mean, the dude won, Superstar of the Year despite being a heel the entire time because people just recognize that he's the best. And honestly, and like, everything he said, my knee buckled because I was carrying this company on my back. It did. He was wrestling like at least one or two matches every show. Raw, SmackDown, pay-per-views. At least one or two. The dude he's an absolute beast. And honestly, like, they relied on him way too much. And he's the only one out of the two of them that I actually feel sympathetic for. Like, this dude never lost his title. He worked so hard, supremely hard at everything. And they just had him lose all the time. Whereas Reigns, he's bland. He doesn't feel like he actually cares about being good on the mic, and they just have him win all his matches. And it's like, I'm so sick of that. I want people to feel like their hard work is, being rewarded, and I just don't feel like it is. And it's sad. But he's gonna win. Anyway, we had two more things to talk about. One, Wyatt family. They could come back, and if they do, the shenanigan ending for Money in the Bank. Okay, like halfway through the match, I think the lights should just go out, and then you see the Wyatt family thing, and then they come back on, and the briefcase is just gone. Or they could just come in and destroy everybody. But I like the idea of the briefcase just being gone, and then you find out like Bray Wyatt has it, or something along those lines. Honestly, Bray Wyatt could just come back and feud with anybody, like heel, face, whatever. He could feud with anybody as long as they have a couple of friends that they could bring. I want Bray Wyatt to come back and just destroy somebody. I don't care who. So yeah, that could happen. Like I said, I hope it comes back and he just takes the Money in the Bank briefcase. But they could have him do some of the other titles. Like I said, I don't actually remember who the Intercontinental Champion is, which is probably a bad thing. But yeah, so I feel like it's the Miz. I don't know. Whatever. Anyways, and then the other thing is Lesnar versus Mark. I think it's Mark Hunt. I heard about that. Lesnar's going to be fighting at UFC 200. I heard the opponent's name and I was like, who? And that's pretty much still how I am. Apparently he knocks people out. I'm not really sure why he's fighting against this guy. I feel like this is a lose-lose for Lesnar. The guy's already saying that Lesnar is on steroids. I want Lesnar to just go out and maul the dude. And, like, if he doesn't, everything they've done with Lesnar over the last, like, couple of years, like, ever since he beat Undertaker, will feel like it's just been for nothing. So he needs to win. I want him to just, like, have the fight start and just go in and start suplexing Hunt and just destroy him. But I feel like the other guy's just going to knock him out in like 10 seconds. But I still hope that Lesnar wins. So that's my predictions, I guess. Lesnar's going to win that fight, hopefully. Fingers crossed. I really hope he wins. And then as far as all the actual predictions for everything, Apollo Crews beats Sheamus, Corbin beats Ziggler, Natty and Becky win their match. Rusev better destroy Titus or else I'll be mad. The club will probably win that title match. Owen should win Money in the Bank. Cena beats AJ, unfortunately, and Reigns beats Seth, unfortunately. That's all I got for you guys. If I missed anything, feel free to leave it in the comments. I'll probably, if I missed anything, I'll put it in the description if you guys remind me of it. But other than that, that's all I got. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you later. Bye, guys.